In today's video, we look at what a professional ballerina eats in a day. Roll the titles.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, just a quick reminder that I'm now offering the SIBO organic acid stool test and consult via my website. So if you have any health or digestive problems, then consider taking these tests, as they will provide a lot of very detailed information upon which you can start making informed decisions and then start getting your health back on track. And on that bombshell, to the video. Okay, so based on Theresa Farrell's height, weight and activity levels, when this video was made, she would have had a BMI of around 19.6, which is on the lower end. Obviously, BMI is not the greatest indicator of weight and health markers, but I have referred to it simply as a reference point. Absolute kudos for that commitment. I don't think I've ever seen 4:30 in the morning other than going on holiday or on a big night out.
I'm a dancer with the Corps de Ballet of American Contemporary Ballet. I'm in the process of preparing for this season, so I've been training to get back to my performance weight.
I am going to eat a pre-breakfast. So I like to have a corn dog.
I think she has said everything that needs to be said there with the words corn dog. It is obviously not a great start to the day. They are simply empty calories that are going to be burnt very fast, leaving her hungry very quickly afterwards. Corn dogs are usually just processed refined sugars, processed refined meats, high amounts of saturated fats and lots of unnecessary additives and preservatives. Not a great start to the day, so let's see where we go from here.
First thing in the morning that I'll eat while I do my stretches.
These are actually really delicious and really filling. And I don't think it's actually that unhealthy.
The ingredients list says otherwise.
Okay, now I'm gonna eat some more. So I get these stuffed peppers with turkey and rice. And so that's $2.40 for one of them. Isn't this what everyone eats for breakfast?
So there is obviously no subscription that anyone needs to follow for breakfast. You can have hot foods, you can have toast, and you can have porridge. But what you absolutely want to be doing is to give your body the raw material it needs to keep you nice and healthy. And this meal is again a little way off of this. It is just 200 to 240 empty calories with a lot of additives and preservatives, a relatively high amount of sodium, and other than vitamin C, there is very little active nutrition in that meal.
So many people ask me what I eat, and people ask me how to lose weight. Sometimes I don't like it when I say, oh, just count it.
I don't think that anyone should be asking a person who eats corn dogs for breakfast for nutritional and weight loss advice.
I started dancing when I was 8 years old, and I knew for absolute certain I wanted to be a ballet dancer by the time I was 14. I remember seeing a ballet by Ballerina, and it was Ballerina who brought ballet really to America. I'd seen many of his ballets, but I just remember sitting there in the audience and thinking, I have to do this.
She is so lucky to know at such a young age where she wanted to put all of her energy and focus. For many people at 60, they still don't know what they want to do with their life.
And that's why I eventually went away to boarding school for ballet, so that my academics could be worked around my ballet training, and I could be around and training with other dancers, that this was their real focus in life as well.
Again, to have that drive at that age is incredible, although some people would probably argue that at this age you should be enjoying being a child.
So I am 115.5 pounds, and I feel I dance my strongest at 114 pounds, because I think I've heard this with cyclists. You want as much lean muscle as you can so you can propel up the hill as quickly as possible. So it's that balance between being really strong and being able to lift the leg with as much ease as possible. If there's 5 extra pounds on the leg, it's a lot more work. So I feel that balance right there for me.
The thing that always concerns me when I hear people talk like this is that the focus is always being the best at a particular sport or activity. There is never any mention of doing this while being the healthiest person that you can be. Food is always an afterthought.
And what?
The amount of hours I'll dance in a day varies greatly depending where we are in the season. When we're in full season, the day is 11 to 6.
The sweat is real. Every day when I dance, especially bar,
everything goes away, except that. But there's also so much to focus on, you can't possibly think of anything else. Because there's a million things I could have done better. And I was thinking of all those things. I think it's just as exhausting mentally as it is physically.
And all of the energy and nutritional requirements of her body are so far being propped up with corn dogs and other processed refined foods.
Yeah, so now I'm going to have a snack. And then we'll rehearse for a little while. I think this is a cutie. Those little oranges. Maybe it's a clementine. No, I usually have oranges on my break.
A woman my size, just to maintain on a normal day, is roughly 1850 calories. So it's interesting to know that the 2,000 calorie diet's for a slightly larger size than I am.
So to lose half a pound a week, I do a 250 calorie deficit a day, which has me consuming 1,604 calories a day.
That is absurd. At that weight she is at there is really not much wiggle room for weight loss. If she loses much more weight, then she will become unhealthily underweight, which is just as damaging for the body as being overweight. And on top of this, from those calories that she is talking about and the demands that she is putting on her body, she is really going to struggle to get adequate nutrition to fuel her body's needs.
So I'll be there in 3 weeks.
So what I do is I will just remember what I ate all day, and then at night I have this little notebook that I put it all into. So we had the 3 clementines. We're estimating that at 70. I have half of a smoothie, so it's 185. Oftentimes people seem to not like the idea of counting calories, but for me it's so much easier because otherwise you're always wondering, or you're thinking I should have seen a result by now. But if it's just the math, then you just know what's happening and you don't have to wonder.
Okay, micromanaging your calories to this level is not healthy for the body or your mind. And again, she is focusing in on calories and not the nutritional aspects of what she is eating. This is a particularly worrying eating pattern that she is following. Her video has 6.6 million views. How many young girls, or boys for that matter, have stumbled across this content and were led to believe that this is a normal way of eating?
Right before I came here, I had curry chicken, 250, on bread, which is 130. And what did I have? Pasta, and 130 for chicken. So I've had 1,025.
1,025 calories, and how many has she burned during this period?
So far. And so now I'll have something like this. You know, granola bar. This is 200 calories, I believe.
It is really just numbers to her and not a care in the world of what her body actually needs in terms of nutrition.
Yep. So I'll have a big dinner.
But the problem is, even if those calories were or were not enough for her requirements, these are just empty calories generally speaking.
So now I'm going to ice my feet while I put my dinner in the microwave.
You know, depending on how much I danced, will influence a lot how hungry I am. Since I work out so much, I'll eat over 2,000 calories.
Can you actually imagine living around food like this? Look, I know that athletes have to watch what they're eating, but this is a very unhealthy relationship with food. Food should be enjoyable, food should be nourishing, and if it's not, then you know you have a problem.
I'm going to make a chicken piccata, and that's 380, so I'm going to have it with a Cobb salad, which is also 380. So at that point, my caloric intake will be 1985. Minus the 804 in exercise, that's 1181. So I'll probably have a big bowl of cereal, which is around 300 calories.
That's 1181 of absurdness. More empty calories, more processed refined foods, and so on.
I eat prepackaged food because I don't have much time. It's really easy to know what's in it, and I'm not a very good cook.
How about learning to cook? The biggest assets that anyone will ever have in their life beyond their family and friends is their health. So to hear her say that she doesn't have too much time for this just shows how much disconnect that she actually has.
I think that people often assume that ballerinas are maybe hungry, and they don't realize that with exercising so much that you can actually eat a lot of food if you choose healthy things.
Of which she has done neither in this video. Where is the abundance of fruits and vegetables? Where is the balanced macro and micronutrients? Where is the iodine? Where are the balanced essential amino acids? It's just a lot of empty calories. And her comment about people's perception of ballerinas, I think she's absolutely playing up to the stereotype here.
Okay, so what I do now is I'll eat this while I ice my feet to distract me from how uncomfortable that is.
At least she has got some level of greens on that plate.
It might be a small population that eat dinner with their feet in an ice bucket. I know it looks a little sad right here, but normally I watch TV, and so I go back and forth between my feet and my knees.
I would stick my neck out on the line and say her eating patterns will be doing very little in helping her recover and reduce inflammation in her body and joints. If anything, her eating patterns will probably be driving a lot of inflammation.
I guess the typical career track for a ballet dancer is between the ages of 18 and 22. You begin dancing professionally, getting jobs in a professional company. Then I'd say a lot of dancers retire around 35. But of course, an injury can come along and cut your career short.
And I would wonder what the state of health would be of many of these ballerinas at 35.
We're gonna have a bowl of cereal, and then I'm gonna fall asleep. One thing perhaps of note about my diet is that I do eat from all the food groups. I know there's a lot of diets that say exclude carbs or exclude dairy, but I eat from all of the food groups.
Correct, she may be eating from all of the different food groups, but what does that matter if her body isn't getting the nutrition it needs?
I'm having 1 serving of this, which is 2 ounces and 200 calories. And I'll just weigh it, because this is one of those things that it takes a little while to know what a serving size really is. And then a cup of skim milk is 90 calories. We'll just sit in bed and eat this and then fall asleep and get up and do it all again tomorrow.
So 2 points here. Eating this late at night is going to do very little for metabolism or recovery. And again, it's simply just a bowl of very little nutrition. Anyhow, let's have a quick look at how her nutrition stacked up for the day. So based off the calories that she disclosed, she would have eaten around 2,000 to 2,200 calories and burnt around 804 calories. So the net of this would have been around 1,400 calories. Now she may very well be in the ballpark with the calories that her body needs, and as she said, she is eating under this at the moment to lose weight. But the whole issue with all of this is that a lot of what she is eating is simply just empty calories. So in terms of her fibre intake, it came in at around 30 gram, which is 5 gram under the minimum requirements advised by many health organisations around the world. Her lipids were on the low side, and as we all know, lipids are the backbone of our hormone system. While she managed to hit her omega-3 requirements, she failed to hit her omega-6 requirements. In terms of protein, she managed to claw back some of the essential amino acids with the milk in her cereal. But after this, things were very hit and miss across her vitamin and mineral intakes. Vitamins B1, B3, B5, folate and vitamin E are very unlikely to have been hit, and her iron and calcium intakes were also on the lower side. Now this would be a concern even in a non-athlete, but if she is eating this way day in day out and not giving her body the tools that it needs to work optimally, then at some point it's going to create problems for her. And for someone like this, it will usually be the thyroid that gives way first. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this one, then be sure to check out this one up here because I'm sure you'll find it equally interesting. And the only other thing that's left for me to say is to remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.